Hey, welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday, and thank you so much for joining me talking all things Masters of the Universe. Today on the channel, guys, I thought it'd be kind of fun to look at some vintage Origins figures that I hope to see, or at least we hope to see, in the cartoon collection. All right, I picked out 5 random figures from the original Origins line, plus a few extra from thanks to Pixel Dan and Dark Horse Comics. Now, every figure here, for the most part, I have no doubt that we will eventually get in the cartoon collection. All right, it's just a matter of when. As long, of course, it's a lot if the cartoon collection is going strong and the demand is there. So I picked out 5 random figures. All right, some are like no-brainers. Part one. This is gonna be a part one, like a 2-part video here review for the next couple of days. This depends. So if you don't see a figure from part 1, stay tuned for part 2. Okay. Now the first figure I want to show you is an interesting one. Okay. Now this figure, and of course, all the figures I'm going to show you, of course, was in that film. It was in Filmation, the cartoon. Okay. Now this figure here, well, I'm about to show you the first one. Like I said, it's very interesting because he was in Filmation, but only in 1 episode. Okay. And he did get an Origins figure. Okay. But it was an exclusive figure. But even though that figure, only got 1 episode in Filmation, he got his own exclusive. So from Mattel Creations. Now, who I'm talking about, of course, is Codar. Okay, there he is. Now, I'm very curious. I'm sure this will not happen, but there's Codar there. Let me turn him on. This was a figure that, of course, he did appear in Filmation for that 1 episode. But is it enough? I mean, it was enough for back in, came out in 2022, that Mattel did give us this figure from the vintage line of the Origins line. I don't know. I'm curious about your thoughts about this. I'm sure that it will not happen, but you never know. I mean, we did get him in the vintage line. I mean, why not the cartoon collection? So let me know in your comments below about Codar. Your thoughts about this. Do you think, Mattel will give us a cartoon collection, a Filmation-style version of Codar? I'm down for it, but let me know in the comments below your thoughts about Codar being part of the cartoon collection. All right. Put them off to the side here. All right, the second one, of course, it's a no-brainer. All right, of course. And that is the Sorceress. There she is. Of course, I would love to get a Filmation-style cartoon collection version of the Sorceress right there. I think she's an iconic character from that show. She was in there, I mean, she was part of the history, of Filmation. An ally and friend to He-Man, of course, Teela's mother, a defender of Grayskull, and I would love to get, her, cartoon collection version of the Sorceress. All right. All right, let's put that away. Let's put it right here. I might have to get my turntable out of the way here. All right. Now, the next figure, this is from thanks to Pixel Dan and Dark Horse Comics. All right. This figure, was in Filmation, and of course he was a bad guy. Okay. Now a lot of time, one thing about Filmation that I loved is that there was different bad guys or like evil besides Skeletor in the world of Eternia from Filmation. And one of those figures I loved in the Filmation cartoon was Count Marzo right here. And this is thanks to Pixel Dan. I would love to get a Filmation-style version of Count Marzo right here, like this. I think that would be an absolutely amazing figure to add to the cartoon collection. And another bad guy. And someone, it's new. Like, we never got him before. I would still get, I love a vintage version of Count Marzo like this. But getting a Filmation-style Count Marzo in the collection would be absolutely amazing. All right? So let me know your thoughts about Count Marzo being added to the cartoon collection. See his sword right there, his amulet right there. There he is, side to side, front to back. This version came out in 2010. So yeah, definitely, I would love to get a version of Count Marzo, the Filmation style version in the cartoon collection. All right. All right, moving on. All right, moving on. Of course, I mean, we have to have Fisto, you know, from the, to add to the cartoon collection. Of course, here's his vintage one. Of course, I would love to get a updated version of the cartoon collection feel of Fisto. But this time, I do hope, I don't know if they can or not, but I would love the fact, that Mattel could give us his action call out, his Power Punch feature added to the cartoon collection version of Fisto. All right, like I said before, all these amazing figures here, I have no doubt, at some point we will get, eventually in the cartoon collection. It's just a matter of when. Okay. And let me know in the comments below, if you don't see anybody here in the next couple parts, let me know, in part 1 or part 2, which, figure you're looking forward to added to the cartoon collection from the Filmation. All right. All right. All right. Moving right along. All right. Of course, another great figure from Filmation. An iconic figure from Filmation that we've gotten twice in Origins, and that of King Randor right there. We got his standard version from the 80s, and we also got his 2000X look. But I am looking forward, and I do have his vintage look right here. But of course, his Filmation style version of him, this version right here of King Randor, I would love to get in the cartoon collection. And he can come with that same chalice and the spear right there. And speaking of of royalty, I hope at some point, if you want to give us a vintage, or a cartoon like a 2-pack, King Randor and Queen Marlena, 2-pack for the cartoon collection. I'm okay with that. I would love to get a Queen Marlena to go along with King Randor from the cartoon collection. All right. All right. Now this other figure, thanks to Pixel Dan and Dark Horse Comics, he only appeared I think just a handful of times, maybe once, maybe twice, in the Filmation cartoon, okay? But I always was intrigued about him, and I was always curious why we did not get this, at least why we didn't get him. I don't think we did, in the 80s classic, 80s line, okay? And who I'm talking about, which I would love to get in the cartoon collection, is Lizard Man. I would love to get a Lizard Man for the cartoon collection. I think that would be an amazing exclusive figure. I think he would be great to add and own. You see, he even comes with a diamond of disappearance right there. I mean, right there, you have that for the cartoon collection. Having him with the diamond of disappearance. So I guess the Skeletor's Filmation style sword right there, and the diamond of disappearance. So I think this would be a perfect candidate for the cartoon collection, getting us an exclusive Lizard Man, all right? The heroic cold-blooded ally for He-Man. There he is. In the cartoon collection. I think that is a must. I think that's really cool if they would do that for us. All right. All right. And finally, because he's my favorite, and I'm sure we will get, and like all the other figures here, except for Codar. I don't know about Codar or Count Marzo or Lizard Man. I would love to get those figures in the cartoon collection. But of course, I mean, I'm sure we'll get eventually Tri-Klops, because we have gotten so many great figures so far in cartoon, in the cartoon collection. We have, of course, He-Man and Beast-Man, and they all look amazing. Skeletor looks incredible. Evil-Lyn, which we just looked at, looks absolutely, amazing. Teela, Man-at-Arms. I mean, you name it. I mean, and there's still more to come. Of course, we have Clawful coming. We have Spike-Or, Webster, I mean, some great figures, added to the cartoon collection. And of course, Tri-Klops is a no-brainer. I'm sure at some point we will get a version of Tri-Klops, in the cartoon collection. All right. So there's my first 5 figures right here that I would love to see in the cartoon collection. Like I said, I'm sure we will get eventually, as long as the brand is going strong and the demand is there as collectors, which, its origins, and, of course, they're nailing it with the vintage line, the cartoon collection as well. So I have no doubt, in my mind, that we will get these figures eventually in the cartoon collection, right? Excuse me, guys. But there's so many great figures out there from the Filmation cartoon that we still need to look at. I know a few figures have been announced, but I still, so if you don't see a figure here in part 1, no worries. I will probably eventually do a part 2, probably hopefully tomorrow on Thursday. It just depends, because I do have a lot of figures coming to unbox. Of course, all of Wave 3 of the Turtles of Grayskull line are coming as we speak. I have Wave 13 of the Masterverse line coming as well. I have some other interesting figures coming very soon to the collection. So this just depends on what happens tomorrow on Thursday. All right. But let me know in the comments below. I mean, if you see someone you don't, if you're questioning, Codar, do you think Codar would be a good candidate for the cartoon collection? Let me know, because he was in Filmation, one episode. And of course, he can have that mirror, as a an item, because each cartoon collection figure has a unique item, with them. I'm kind of curious about each of these figures here. What you can do the chalice for him, maybe a little robot for Tri-Klops, his chalice right there, Sorceress, something with Sorceress, some magic effect or something. I don't know, So I mean, the possibilities are just endless with these amazing figures. And let me know of a figure that you would love to see added to the cartoon collection. Personally, which you don't see here, because I will be doing a part 2, like I said. All right, eventually. Now, out of all these, I mean, I want, of course, Tri-Klops. I mean, I want all of them, of course. About thinking about outside the box, like Count Marzo, Lizard Man, any other figure, bad guy, good guy, they, you would love to see. All right. But there you go, guys. There's a look at, some hopeful potentials, that we probably will get in the cartoon collection. All right. Part 1. All right. Alright, guys. I'd like to take the time now, of course, to thank my subscribers. Thank you for joining me today. If you made it this far in the video and have not subscribed, please subscribe, guys. I love talking to you guys all things Masters of the Universe, like the Origins line here. And like I said, there are still a ton of figures from the vintage line that we still need, in the we still hopefully will get in the cartoon collection. I still have some amazing figures to look at, together with you guys. All right. So if you made it this far in the video and have not subscribed, please subscribe, guys, because I love talking to you all things Masters of the Universe, like the vintage line here, once again, like the cartoon collection, like the Turtles of Grayskull, like the Masterverse line. Of course, the CGI line, too, is an amazing toy brand as well. Hit that like button, and thank you for doing that. It helps my channel to get out there to grow for more people who love this amazing product here, to watch my videos, and hopefully subscribe as well. So hitting that like button, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much. And hit that notification bell when upload new videos. And tomorrow, on Thursday, it depends. Now, if I do get some figures from Wave 3 of the Turtles of Grayskull line, or even the Masterverse line, of course, we'll do some full unboxings for them, all right? If not, of course, we'll do another part of this cartoon collection hopefuls, all right, part 2. And I do, like I said, there's so many great figures out there that we still need in the cartoon collection. So this depends on what happens on, what I get on Thursday. All right. Of course, share this video who has a passion and a love for collecting all things Masters of the Universe, like the Origins line here, of course, over 40 years. You got the 80s, the classics, the 2000X, Princes of Power, Super 7, Mondo, Funko Pops, Turtles of Grayskull, Cartoon Collection, Vintage Origins line, Masterverse, has a great variety of brands themselves, CGI, Funko Pops, you name it. So, I hope everybody has a great Wednesday, and I'll see everybody on Thursday. Take care, and have a good one.